Welcome back to another episode of, I'm dying. We're gonna be playing Dungeon ni de o motomeru no wamashigate iru daro ka Memoria Freese Y2. Episode 514, I'm pretty sure, because I'm sure I haven't lost count and I don't even remember. What episode of the playlist is this on? Because I know the numbers are mixed up like they usually are. Because of the 1 and 2 parters, because of the 3 parters that were just not supposed to be 3 parters. But it's because my merger takes 30 hours to produce an hour episode. But besides that, what we are here to talk about is the episode, apparently the finale of season 2 of Is It Wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon. Oh man, I would say oh man. But there's good news to come to the end, because just like every time, I'm going to say, I know, my voice, terrible. This is absolutely terrible that I'm still sick, even after all this time. Just terrible. Okay, so I am going to try to recap this week's episode, as quick as possible. Okay, before I do that, Ryan wants to say hi.
What's up, guys? It's Ryan again. It's a good time. So, like I said yesterday about my YouTube channel and stuff, that's great. My YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, what I'm doing, NBA 2K20, Madden 20, all that stuff. And hopefully me and Sean will make like a video or two and maybe like a vlog or something, and yeah.
Yeah. Alright, peace.
Peace.
Alright, so. Today, or yesterday rather, was a sad day. Because yesterday, I didn't review this week's episode. But I forgot, I'm sorry. But anyway, we're changing the game. So yeah, it's Saturday. We're gonna be reviewing episode 12 of season 2. And I thought, it's weird because apparently it was the finale. I don't know why I thought, it was gonna be, 13 episodes like the first season. That's what I assumed. But I guess not, which I'm fine with, but just didn't expect that. But anyway, besides that, we're here, we're back. And, along with the season ending, before we get into this review, along with the season ending and how it ended, I'm very happy to announce, if you don't already know, that not only is Memoria, because since we're going to episode 1000, if we're on Y2, there's obviously going to be a Y3. And since, Y2 is happening while season 2 of the show, happened, there obviously has to be, like, in Y3, there obviously has to be a season 3 of the show, right? And there is. They confirmed it. I'm so happy. Oh my god. Memoria Freese, season 3. It's great. I don't know when they said it was going to be released. I'm hoping next year. So I could do that, I suppose, to start Y3 around the time of Y3. I'm pretty sure it won't release next summer, but if it does, goddamn, that would be awesome. So anyway, before I review anything here, look at AS. Look at AS, the beautiful AS she is. Let's see if we can get outside Arario AS. I'd really love that, please. So it's currently 11 in the morning. No, did we instantly? Oh, wait, what? Wait, how do we get someone from Secret Game? We got Chloe from Secret Game. The hell? I was at a what was I saying? Oh yeah. So it's currently 11 a.m. I'm gonna be doing a lot today because today is Chloe's birthday. Of course, my cousin, and so we're gonna be relaxing in the pool and all that. But I just wanted to get this episode out of the way, and of course, watch the episode that came out yesterday out of the way, so that I can just spend the whole day with them, like I did yesterday. So, but before we do that, I need to, just go through the gacha and then do the final special novel story thingamajig hopper. So yeah, if this gacha could end, we could, maybe just do that. Alright, cool, we didn't get AS, I'm crying. To my toes, definitely. I mean, at least we have Nightmare Academia, boys and girls. This is... Oh god, that's right, we have Nightmare Academia. This is... Oh boy. Alright. Alrighty. Just calm down. Ugh. Sound terrible. Alright, yeah, so this is what I don't get. So why is the sub-story lasting until... Why? Here's what I don't get. Why is this sub-story lasting until October 9th? When the anime ended this week? That's what I don't get. Like, the season, I mean. When the season ended this week. Or maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe there is one more episode. I don't really know. Yeah, because this is gonna last until... Not next week. Well, this upcoming week. It's gonna last through this upcoming week. And then past this upcoming week up until Wednesday. So, I found that interesting. So, are we gonna get another one? Are we getting another sub-story? I don't know. I really don't know, but... Anyway, before we actually get into the supposed final sub-story, maybe not, I want to quickly do something. And that is... Oh god, what did I want to do? Oh yeah, let's go to the guild. Oh, and nothing is at the guild. Great. Wait, actually, no, there must be. Dispatch quests. There you go. We didn't collect these from episode 500. I don't know. An episode ago. And we failed in one. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. We got through that one. I'm sorry that I'm taking way too long to get to the sub-story and the review. I'll get there soon enough. Wait, hold on, what? Oh, dude, there's more things? There's more special board things? Cool. That's cool. Alright, that's real lit. Alright, that's right. Let's get to the sub-story. So, supposedly, the final sub-story of the season. Let's go. Special Novel 12. What is it called? Happy Rhythm. That's what I would call this episode. You can't focus on your practice? Oh, that's what the village is called? But? I agree. There are many things you don't know. Mm-hmm. Turn to Mark.
ティア様とも踊って楽しかった。
Oh?
残
Why were you a
念。
little disappointed?
どうして？
Oh? Oh?
もしあの時ヘスティア様とじゃなくて
Oh?
誰かと踊れていたら。
Oh? 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 No way. No way.
笑ってるね。
Oh?
笑っているわね。
Oh?
笑っているな。
Oh?
踊ってるの？
Oh?
そのようだな。
Wait, what?
何かいいことでもあったのかしら。皆目見当がつく。でも合図のああいう顔見れて
It kind of gives you that happy rhythm, huh? Cough, cough.
そうね。
Or just.
また一緒に。
You got ended up there, Holmes. Oh, come on. Back it up. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the nitty and gritty. Or the nighty and fighty. I don't know. Let's go ahead. Just do Elixia quests while I'm talking about this episode. Because I haven't done Elixia quests in like forever. We'll level up the fight crew. Yeah, the fighting crew. The fighter crew, whatever. Alright, so this week's episode is great. Of course, a recap of the whole season once again in like 5 seconds, or not less, or more. So the first, like, all the episodes 1 through 11 have all had different tones and moods. You know, obviously, like the slice of life mood, or the twists mood, or the dark mood, or like the kind of adventure and action and a hint of romance and laughter or comedy. Like all that was there, and you know, we had some good arcs this season. Of course, like the Apollo arc, or the War Game arc, whatever you want to call it, and of course the I'm forgetting. Come on. The City of Lust arc, Haruhime arc, Ishtar arc. There you go, Ishtar Familia arc. That whole thing. We had some great arcs. We had some great characters introduced, like Haruhime. Like of course Apollo. You know, Lily leaving the Soma Familia and to be a part of Hestia Familia, as well as Welf and Makoto, and now of course Haruhime. Them all living in a mansion now. A lot of changes this season, a lot of great things. Sometimes it was dark, sometimes it was great, sometimes it was action, like I said before like 100 times in the previous reviews of Season 2 episodes. And it's just been a great ride all along. And I think this episode ended off the season in a way that the first season didn't. I mean, obviously, but like, I think this season ended off on, you know, obviously it ended off on a cliffhanger. But it also ended off on a really, really good, like a really, really sweet note. That, like, because I thought the final episode of the season would have been, like, something insane. I mean, it wasn't anything insane, but it did cover something that needed to be discussed thoroughly throughout, like, 3 episodes or 2 episodes. But it was good. This episode was great, and Even though
やりましたね。
last episode I said was the best episode of the whole show, which it was. I'm not taking that away. I'm not
気をつけてね。
lying when I said that. But this episode was really good to end off the season. I don't think I couldn't have thought of any better way to end off this season. Again, if yesterday's episode was the final episode of this season, or maybe there's one more episode left and I'm just going insane. But
素材の準備
yeah, but like I said, there's been a lot this season. I think we can all agree that a lot more has happened in, the second season than the first season. Whether good or bad. Mostly good. A little bit of bad. We expanded, to outside of Auraria. We learned about the Rika army, or Adomis Familia, or that whole stupid, useless war they're trying to go on about and trying to attack Aurario. We just learned a lot of stuff, and it's been a great
お疲れ
stuff.
様です。
Been a great
やりま
ride.
したね。
But this episode, like I said, couldn't have been better to end off the season than any of the others, because I feel like with such a packed season, there was a lot that happened this season. With such a packed season,
ダメだよ。
to end it off on like a very light, but
思いを届けましょう。トッ
but
ピン
like
グしましょ
a
う。
light and cliffhangery episode. It was really smart. It sort of felt like I
こんな格好で。
I don't know.
準備はバッチ
Like
リです。
episode 12 this season felt like the mid-season of a show. I don't know like how to say that right, but this season, what I'm trying to say is that this season felt like the end of the season felt like
思いを届けましょう。蹴散らしてやりなさい。
a really like I said, light end, and not just like a massive one. It wasn't like so gigantic. I mean, that's at least how I viewed it. Anyway,
よくやったわ。
to the review.
ご褒美は
Well,
何が
not
いい
to
か
the
しら。
review yet. And especially, I'm really excited now that this season has ended. Now that we got confirmation for season 3. Oh boy, I'm so happy. I can review another 13 episodes. Let's go. Let's go. I can review another 13 episodes and be cringy
しっかり
to
サ
the
ポートしま
maximum.
すよ。
This is great. Absolutely beautiful. I really do wonder. I really
来たね。
gotta read the article that told me that. Also, I think it should be mentioned that I'm not sure. I may be getting this wrong or right. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm just gonna share this anyway. Apparently, because along with reading the article, or not reading the article, but seeing the article that said, "Oh yeah, Memoria Freese season 3 confirmed," and I'm like, "Yo, that's awesome." Apparently, this game, Memoria Freese, this game that I've done many episodes on, released in Europe.
もし
Just released in Europe. At least that's what I think. That's what I heard. And I'm like, it just released in Europe? Really? like really?
お疲れ様です。
Sorry.
やりましたね。
Like man, I thought it was released already to everyone. But apparently not. Anyway, it's great. Europe can play this game now. Enjoy. If any Europeans are watching out there.
しっかりサポートしますよ。
But that wouldn't make anyway. That wouldn't make sense. Anyway.
こんな感じでどう？ ささやかな敵の気
I was
持ち。
gonna say. No, but yeah, that's great. Anyway, to the review finally after like 20 minutes. And before we actually get to the review, can I just say 20-minute mark? Thank you, because I barely ever say 10,
思いを届けましょう。男子禁制だぞ。
Mark in these reviews. Now, I'm sorry that my voice just went downhill right there. You know, I don't know if you know this, but yeah, you get it. Anyway. The episode starts off with Belle taking care of Hestia while she's resting in a bed. And here I'm thinking, like, oh, this must be like Grandpa's old house. And you know, he was brought there by Ace or whatever. But no, it's a village. And she's sleeping in the mayor's house. The mayor of the village, of course, in his house. And he is taking care of Hestia. And this old man, comes in with his daughter, called Rena. And Belle's like, hey, I forgot what the old man's name was. It was like not Karma, but it was like Karm something. Yeah, let's just call him Karm. We'll call him K. No, just Karm. So Belle's like, hey, Karm, or Karm's like, oh, is your goddess awake? And then Belle's like, yeah, she's awake. And Karm looks at Hestia, and like, he can't believe that it's Hestia. I don't know. He was just surprised. And then of course from there, I might be missing things, I'm sorry, but, you know, I can't really remember everything in the world when I'm sick, but that wouldn't make sense because, anyway, before we continue on from there, I forgot to mention that, like I always forgot to mention something, Hestia's like, oh, how did we get here, and Belle's like, oh, it saved us and brought us here. That's all that was really missing. Okay, so anyway, like I said, Karm looked at Hestia, and he's like, what? And then from right there, I believe, maybe, I mean, I'm not always 100% sure. For the final time, trumpets and all, the intro plays. Beautiful fanfare for the final episode of the season, supposedly. And along with that fanfare, oh my god, I can't speak. Along with that fanfare, comes the start of the episode. Obviously, after the fanfare. And I won't, again, I don't remember, I remember everything that happened in this episode, but I just can't remember it in order. And so I'm just gonna be talking about the main points. Like, I don't know, man. Okay, you know what? This is a complete mess. Anyway. Okay. So, the basis of the episode, to not just flip over my words a billion times for the next hour, the main point of the episode is that Ace, Belle, and Hestia are in this village outside of Arario. And Hestia is being taken care of Belle, and Rena being the daughter of Karm. And, Ace is, of course, also there, and she, you know, at the beginning of the episode is scouting out, in the nighttime, you know, around the village, just scouting out if any monsters or whatever, or, oh yeah, scouting out if Rika is anywhere to be seen, or Asvi is anywhere to be seen, but she can't find any trace of them, and just finds, like scars, not scars, but like signs of that they fought, that's all. And then from there, you know, she goes back inside, and, you know, she basically goes to sleep, everyone goes to sleep. Like, the next morning, I know I've gone from, I really can't, okay. Like I was hoping I have all my thoughts straight, once again, like I was saying, The main basis, of course, of the episode, besides everything that I said, is that Ace is there, Belle is there, Hestia is there, and Belle and Rena are taking care of Hestia, basically. But it's like separate shifts and all that. And the old man, not the old man, but Carm, is also sick. And throughout the episode, well, early in the episode, he looks at this emblem he has, and at first I thought, like, oh, is he maybe, like, Belle in the future or something? I don't know, because he was surprised to see Hestia, and I'm like, oh, is he Belle from the future? But I'm like, they wouldn't do that. Says the person that doesn't know enough about this show to know that that's 100% true. I mean, I wouldn't know if, Fujino Mori's gonna add some time travel or anything in the show. I'm pretty sure. Not really, because, I mean, if that happened, ooh, boy, wait. Yeah, definitely, time travel hasn't happened at all in this series. Yeah, I'm sure, right? There are no, okay, I don't know what I'm speaking about. Anyway, that's what I first thought of the old man. I thought it was, like, an older Belle who was like, oh my god, it's Hestia, and I thought when he was looking at the emblem, it was their emblem, but it wasn't. But apparently, to just sum up the conversation about Carm really quick, apparently Carm was an adventurer who used to have a goddess, named, I already forgot. I think it was like, oh my god, I hate myself that I don't know this name. I forget the name of the goddess. But I know that Hestia said she knew the goddess. And that they were great friends in heaven. And that Carm, while adventuring with his goddess, was saved by his goddess, and she sacrificed herself for him because they loved each other so much. And so, ever since then, Carm has never loved another woman, married another woman, and, since, like, he's like, really sick, he's really old, he wonders, like, oh man, when I get to heaven, will I be able to see, my, old goddess, or my original goddess, or whatever. And of course, that comes, later in the episode, where a little sweet moment happens there, but we'll get to that later. We'll wrap up Carm later, even though I said we'll wrap up Carm really quick. But besides Carm, and Rena, who's really just taking care of, Hestia sometimes, and, Carm sometimes, Belle goes ahead, and apparently, before I even continue saying Belle goes ahead, there's a festival that's happening, the night after. So it's, like I said, it's the day after, and there's a festival happening the night of the day after of episode 11. And Hestia asks Belle to go ahead and help with the festival to repay the mayor, the village, for helping, take care of Hestia. So, good old Belle goes ahead and does that. And, while he's on his way out, he sees Ace walk out with this great dress, of course. That dress being the one we saw in the Gatch earlier this episode. Which I'll probably show in a minute if I remember. And he's like, oh my god, Ace, what are you doing? It's like, not what you're doing, what are you doing? But he's just like, he's surprised because, she looks beautiful and all that. And Ace is like, they told me I look good wearing in this. And she's like, what do you think? And then he's like, you look great, or beautiful, or whatever. And then she's happy, which is great. And then it cuts to him helping, one of these guys, one of the guys, working with the festival, helping to fix up the festival, or, you know what I mean? Or set up the festival, sorry. And they're carrying a log, and they see Ace helping or gathering around kids, or kids are gathering around her or whatever, or picking flowers. I don't know. And good old oh man, I can't even think. Good old. Oh right, not good old. And while she's picking the flowers, the guy who's helping, well, the guy that Bella's helping, starts talking starts saying like, oh, she a beaut, ain't she? Like saying that about AS, and he's like, yep. And then that was like a really short conversation, and they finish up. Belle really doesn't have to do anything. I mean, they say, he says, if you need my help ever again later, then I'll help. But I don't think he gets called for help, really. So after that, while Belle's walking around, he finds this shrine, which is what I'm going to call it, because I think, because it sort of reminds me of, like, those goddess statue shrines. If you've ever played Breath of the Wild, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like the goddess statue shrines. Not the giant goddess statue, but, where you get your, what do you call them? Your hearts or your stamina. Like those little goddess statues. It sort of reminded me, of the shrine, or whatever you want to call it, that appeared in this episode. Where it was the scale of the black dragon. That, there's like a bunch of flowers in front of it. And the black dragon obviously connects to what Hermes was talking about in episode 11. The black dragon being one of the 3 monsters or dragons that are a part of the 3 great quests that haven't been completed. And apparently, the reason why this dragon scale is with this shrine, or in the shrine, or as the shrine, is because, and this is being explained by like a guy who's praying to the shrine when Belle is there, and he says, oh yeah, a while back, the black dragon came through here, and a bunch of its scales fell down, and we decided to use those scales and to protect the village, because apparently the scales of the black dragon terrify monsters. They're almost like a force field of sorts. And so 10 scales dropped, and they're all placed in like little shrines around the village. So I thought that was a really nice piece of history, if I'm being honest. I really like that we sort of, even though this episode was not really a one-off episode, but it was an outside of Arario episode, that we sort of continued that the show sort of made us continue to think about the Black Dragon and the three great quests, by showing that some of the Black Dragon scales are used as, protectors against monsters, basically. So I thought that was really, really cool. I think that's a great way to... That was a great and unexpected way to sort of progress this series, or this episode, in a storytelling way, if that makes sense. I mean, besides everything else that happens in this episode. Except for everything else that happens in this episode. My god, I'm so flimsy. Before I continue, this was the outfit that AS wore, and I thought it was great. It was beautiful. 10 out of 10. Would watch again. Which reminds me, I need to probably rewatch the entire season again. I'm probably going to rewatch seasons 1 and 2 together when I have time. That'll definitely be one hell of a thing to do. Maybe I'll do a reaction to seasons 1 and 2. That could be really interesting. Maybe after I'm fully cured from this terrible sickness, which isn't really terrible, it's just a cold. or the phlegm. I don't even know what it is at this point. Now maybe I can do a reaction. Obviously not here on YouTube because YouTube would never let me react to Memoria Freese episodes on Crunchyroll. I'll probably just have to download them and just do something. I gotta find some way to do it. But it'll definitely be fun. I probably won't post it on YouTube, to be honest. I think I'll have to make like I don't know. That's the thing about that. Because it wouldn't be a blind reaction, so it wouldn't really be. I don't know. Anyway. Continuing from everything. After the whole black skills scene and all that, I believe it's time for the festival only after Hestia and Aes encounter each other. Of course, Hestia is still laying in the bed, and Hestia was deciding, before Aes entered the room, she's like, I'm all better now, but, I really want Belle to take care of me, so I'm just gonna pretend that I'm still sleeping. So I thought that was adorable. So somebody knocks at the door, it's Aes. And Hestia and Aes have a very interesting conversation. Not a really long conversation, but a conversation. It's just like a question answer type thing. You have a conversation then. But no, it wasn't whatever. It was a chat of sorts. So Hestia says to Wallen what's it, which apparently she's still calling, which is great. Don't ever stop that. I hope Hestia never learns how to properly say Aes' last name. But Hestia, Hestia asks, I never thanked you for saving me and Belle, did I? And then Ace is like, no. And then Hestia's like, thank you so much, I appreciate it. And, Ace is like, you're welcome, it was no problem. And then Hestia was like, so, let's get down to what really matters. And then Ace is like, what's that? And Hestia's like, what do you think of my Belle? And Ace says, oh god, what does Ace say? Ace says, she's a rabbit. And then Hestia just laughs, and they sort of become good friends, which made me happy. Because, of course, Hestia, knowing that Ace is I guess you could say the energy that, for Liari's Freese, I guess you could say, which is, of course, the, not the status, what is it? The skill? Is it the skill? I don't know. It's the skill that Belle has that, his, whenever his love for Aes grows, he grows stronger. They still become good friends. It was great. And so then, festival time. Yay, and it's great. It's a great festival. It sort of reminded me of, because they have like a bonfire, and I'm not sure how because I'm sure years ago I used to think that bonfires were all the same for like everywhere. Like you just place a few sticks here, there in a pile, and then just light in. That's a bonfire. But apparently not. Apparently it's just for Japan, completely different. And so that sort of bonfire that they had in the episode sort of reminded me of the bonfires and festivals they have for like the high school type anime, if you know what I mean. So I thought that was fun to see. I'm like, is that a nod to that? Maybe, but who cares, really? It's Memoria, Freese. They probably not do everything. Because, I mean, what does it not do? But anyway, that was great fun. And, you know, they're at the festival. You know, Hestia is now wearing something. You know, Ace is wearing the same thing. Belle is, I think, just wearing. What is Belle wearing? I forgot what Belle was wearing, man. Well, he was wearing something, obviously. And the village folk are like, "Hey, you're here," and they're like, "Are y'all gonna dance?" And they're like, "Dance or folk dance or whatever." So they're like, "What's the folk dance?" And the and the village folk are like, "Oh, well, it's this dance that if someone asks to dance you, it means he or she likes you, and then you instantly become lovers." And so, in that moment, I'm like, "So, Belle, who are you gonna ask?" And I thought it was gonna be Ace, and then Hestia was gonna be like, "Belle." But no, instead, Hestia ended up forcing Belle, I suppose, to ask her to dance. Because earlier Belle had heard from Carm, because Carm had called Belle into his room, and Carm had told Belle to never let go of his goddess and never to leave her behind and all that, and always to stay by her side. And, you know, remembering that, Belle went ahead and asked Hestia to dance, but, you know, he just said it in the most normal way possible, and then Hestia's like, "No, I want you to ask me to dance, like you asked Ace to dance." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that happened at the beginning of the season." And, you know, at the time in the episode, I thought, like, wait, this is the, you know, penultimate episode, not the final episode of the season. Because at the time, I still thought that, hey, we still have one more episode left, right? I don't know, still. Like, was this week the final episode? I actually don't know. Can someone please tell me? Like, because I know it ended off with a cliffhanger, but I don't know. So like I was saying. Oh yeah, so Belle then properly asked Hestia to dance, and they were dancing, and that was adorable. And then later, after that, Hestia and this other person were dancing, and then Ace and this other person were dancing, and then Hestia was, and then Belle was just, you know, left at the front, you know, just chilling, until Rena, of course, the daughter of Carm, came running, crying, and she's like, "My father, he's," and then, and then he's like, and then Belle's like, "Wait, what?" And so then it cuts to, Carm on his, it cuts to Carm in his final moments, basically. And, you know, Hestia's there, you know, Belle's there, Ace is there, Rena's there, a few village folk are there. And Hestia and Carm, and this is where we finally wrap up Carm's stuff, which is what I was supposed to do ages ago, but I didn't. At the end, Carm, you know, Carm and Hestia had a conversation about the goddess that Carm used to protected, but then he lost. And Hestia's like, "Oh yeah, I knew your goddess and all that." And they were talking, they were laughing, and he asked Hestia, like, "Will I be able to see her in heaven? When I get to heaven?" And then Hestia said, "I'm sure you will. I'm sure she'll find you." And it didn't hit me. It didn't hit me yet. Not the tears, but like, it didn't hit me it didn't hit me, and what the thing that didn't hit me was, I'll explain in a minute. But it was a sweet moment where Hestia sort of, but sort of showed Carm that, you know, like, because she had her hair tied like she usually does, and then she untied her hair, which sort of gave her the appearance of Carm's goddess. And Hestia was like, "Oh, I'll see you in heaven," or whatever. I forgot what she said, but it was in the voice of his goddess that through it was some weird stuff. And for a second I'm like, wait, is his goddess? I'm like, nope, probably not, no. I'm gonna go with a nop. Unless, yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say with that unless. But anyway, Carm ended up sadly dying there, you know, with Hestia sort of giving him his final wish or whatever. And that was really sad. I like Carm. Carm was a great character. He sort of reminded me, reminded me of who? Actually, he didn't remind me of everyone. He was a very chill character, I suppose. A very interesting character. I really wanted to learn a little bit more about Carm, even though we learned a lot about him. I feel like for a side character, is what I'm gonna call him. I feel like for a side character of the entire show, but a main character for this episode, I feel like he deserved a lot. I feel like what the story, the background he was given, you know, the title he was given as mayor of the village, I feel like that was, you know, that was deserved for this character, because it was because of this character that this episode ended off so greatly, and it's of course not because of his death, but it's because what happened after his death. So of course after his death, but not after his death, which is what we're going to talk about. So sorry that I've had to be interrupted like 6 times because my recorder keeps on dying. But like I was saying, everyone of course cried, and it was very sad that Carm died. But what happened after his death is what really got me, because I cried, right? And I feel like I should have mentioned this earlier. I cried in this episode. And I sort of started to tear up just a little bit when Carm died, just a little bit. But it was after the fact, where Belle was outside, sitting on like a bench and looking out to the sun, or not to the sun, the night sky. And Hestia's like, "Oh, there you are." And him and Hestia had like a sweet moment where they were talking about, you know, like, how Belle's not going to be alive forever and all that, and the love between God and child and all that kind of stuff. And you know, Belle was just super sad about that, you know, seeing Carm die and Carm's whole story and all that. And then Hestia said to him, and this is where I broke. This is where I died. Because it was that moment where I realized that the thing that Hestia said to Belle reminded me of what Artemis said to Belle at the end of Era of the Orient, which, you know, obviously Era of the Orient made me cry, freaking. And I mean, we're doing the rerun of Era of the Orient, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna cry again when she says it again. But Hestia said, "Belle, no matter if you're an old man, no matter if you die, no matter if you're in heaven, we'll always be together. No matter if it takes 100, 1,000, 10,000 years to find you, I will always be with you. And when I find you, you know what I'll say? I'll say, would you like to be in my familia? That struck me. That killed me. Obviously, Artemis didn't say, would you like to join my familia, but she said, I'll wait for you for 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 years to be able to see you. That beauty just killed me. And, you know, Belle's like, oh man, like, Belle just starts crying, and he's like, I want to be with you, and all that, and it was just a beautiful moment. I'm sorry I really can't describe it any better. It was just such a sweet moment. It was such a sweet and beautiful moment that, it might just be one of, not my favorite moment in the show, but it was the sweetest moment in the show, maybe. I'm not crying, it's just my voice is changing so many times, it's mental. But, of course, after this, you know, Aes sort of arrives, and she listens to this, not intervening, which I'm like, good on Aes, thanks Aes, you're real nice. And then the next day, Aes, Belle, and Hestia are back in their original uniforms, and they head off, and they leave the village, and they're like, oh man, that was a nice day. And then Aes is like, I want you to take me back there, Belle. And then Belle's like, and then Hestia's like, go with your own familia. Well, then what's it? And then Belle's like, no, it's fine. And then Hestia's like, And then from there, you know, like the outro starts, you know, trumpets and all, you know, they're returning to Aurario, you know, Aes is going back to her familia, you know, Belle sees Haruhime, Welf, Lily, Makoto, the whole gang, and, you know, they're all hugging, and it's all great, you know, and Haruhime hugs him first, and then Hestia is like, no, it's like, I can't believe you, or whatever, because, you know, and it's just great, and the season ends with a far wide shot of a Belle, like we usually get, and then it ends. The season ends. Another great and beautiful season ends. But then, they hit you. They hit you, 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 they hit you. They don't hit you with feels. They don't hit you with madness. They don't hit you with, they don't hit you with kindness, no. I mean, they do afterward, but they hit you with the cliffhanger. They, you know, they pushed you off, you know, you're on the edge of your seat, you know. It's great. What a great season. You're crying because, you know, Hestia and Belle, adorable, great. Maybe you're laughing because Hestia and Aes and everyone else who loves Belle. Or maybe you're just like, yo, we did it, we finished, oh yeah, like, that. But then, you know, like I said, you're at the edge of your seat. Then good old Fujino Omori, right at the end, just like, you're on the edge of your seat, you know, on the edge of a cliff. Fujino Omori just like, slightly taps your back, and you fall off the cliff. It's called a cliffhanger, and then you're just like, your eyes just, I don't know what I'm saying. The screen goes black, but not really, because what happens at the end of the episode is that we're brought back to the whole point this show is a thing, the dungeon. And we're in a corridor or in an alley or whatever of the dungeon. And, you know, just like I sort of thought it was Stranger Thingsy in a sense, of like the upside down, you know, 11 cracking, if you ever seen Stranger Things. It's great. Like 11, sort of like getting through to the other side after being stuck in the Upside Down. And and who? Oh God, what was it? And it sort of reminded me of what happened at the end of this season for the cliffhanger. Because in the dungeon, like I said, we're introduced to a crack in the wall of the dungeon. And it's cracking, and it's cracking, and it's cracking, then it opens up. And there's like a red light coming from there. Like at first I thought, like, wait, Revis? It's like, hold on, are we about to connect the shows? Like, that'd be pretty sick, dude. I mean, I'm not complaining, I'd love to see Revis here. You know, can we get a Bell v. Revis fight? Can we get a Bell? Can we get a Bell and AS v. Revis, please? That'd be great. But it wasn't Revis. Someone else fell out of this little red glowing hole. And it was a woman of sorts, or a girl, lady, whatever you want to call it, a female of sorts, that had blue hair and gray skin. And she's like, where am I? And then it ends there. So, I've seen her face before the episode, because of course I saw the article that said, we're getting a season 3, by the way, we're getting a season 3! And she was like the main face of that article. And I don't have a lot of theories about who she is, because the thing is that I have the manga. I love how I have the manga of this show and I still haven't read it. I am going to read it, because I'm pretty sure now that I've seen all of season 2, I can read up through season 2 to the end of season 2. I'm not sure how many manga that is. But it's pretty cool. I'm excited to read all the manga now. I mean, of course I have like 1 through 6, but I'm not sure how long that goes up till. Maybe like just the first season. But yeah, this is a great season. All in all, this is a great season. Like I said, I have no theories for who this girl is. I can only assume she is the key to the next arc that, of course, we will start in season 3 of Zerone trying to pick up girls in a dungeon. Or maybe she could just be... She could either be an ally or an enemy, or... I don't know. We'll just have to see. We'll have to see, won't we? In the next season of Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon? By Fujino Omori, and also Crunchyroll, and also, like, I forget who else makes the show. But anyway, with that is the final review for the final episode of Season 2. Thank y'all for watching all these reviews, all the episodes so far. If you're watching this after the fact, we're at the point where there's probably a Season 3. Well then, I don't know how many more cringy episodes you're gonna have to get through to the point where you see the first review for Season 3, Episode 1. But until then, to get this mess for watching, I'm gonna go ahead and spend time with my family after this 1 hour review. And yeah, sayonara, and get ready for tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because we're gonna finish good old Era of the Orient again. Sayonara, bye!